Kobbie Mainoo proved he was dependable, but just 8 months ago, the midfielder was unknown. So how did he do it? How did he go from zero to hero? This is the untold story of how Kobbie Mainoo transformed both Manchester United and England. Without Kobbie Mainoo, Manchester United wouldn't have won the 2023-24 FA Cup final. Without him, England wouldn't have reached the final of Euro 2024. The midfielder who has been a revelation for a depleted Manchester United side in the 23-24 season was the fourth choice in midfield for Gareth Southgate's England. He forced his way into the starting lineup and put up some incredible numbers. He completed 96% of his 138 passes at Euro 2024 and misplaced just 5 of them. His accuracy was the best of any midfielder since 1980. Mainoo had always stood out since he started playing football aged 5 at Cheadle and Gatley JFC in Greater Manchester. He was always the best performer when they had a training session or game. His coach, Steve Vare, wanted to test the youngsters and began to challenge him. It was quite obvious when Kobbie came down that he was strong, quick, and good with the ball at his feet. I had to try and challenge him by loading the teams up so all the better kids were on the other team to make it a challenge for him. I then started to play him against the older boys to challenge him, Steve said. Also, Steve would give Kobbie handicaps. Sometimes Kobbie would only be allowed to kick with his weaker foot. They were difficult, but Kobbie took on all of these challenges and excelled. He blossomed with each training session, and Manchester United spotted him as an under-6 player and wanted him to join their club. Kobbie's parents agreed, and so his United journey began. Kobbie fully committed to United when he was 8, and was awarded United scholarship aged 11, which was a great achievement as the other person to get that benefit so young was Marcus Rashford. Kobbie went through United's ranks rapidly. When he was 15, he made his under-18s debut on the 3rd of October 2020 as a substitute in a 2-1 away loss at Manchester City. Alejandro Garnacho would also debut in that match after replacing Mainoo in the 77th minute as a tactical change. During this time, Kobbie wasn't playing as a holding midfielder. He began as a striker, played on the wing, and as a number 10. Then he decided to switch to being a centre midfielder because he loved to be on the ball a lot. When he was 16, Kobbie then made his under-23s debut. After that debut, he returned to the under-18s, where he and Garnacho helped United lift the FA Youth Cup. Kobbie was influential in their run to the Youth Cup final, scoring against Reading and Everton and providing an assist against Leicester. Ten Hag had had his eye on Mainoo since the 2022 World Cup. The coach continued to train the United players who didn't make the World Cup squad for their countries and evened out the squad by picking some players from the academy. Mainoo was one of the academy players that joined Ten Hag and travelled to Spain for a club friendly against Cadiz. Mainoo came on at half-time against Cadiz and scored within 4 minutes. Apart from his goal, Mainoo was everywhere in that game. He exploited the wings like a winger and made surging runs into the box. He used his versatility well and occupied advanced midfield positions. How did he get so versatile? We'll get to this soon. The way Mainoo played in that friendly, the maturity he displayed, made Ten Hag give him a chance in the first team. Mainoo got a start in United's Carabao Cup quarter-final match against Charlton Athletic, which United won 3-0. Then, Ten Hag kept Mainoo close to the first team and handed him his league debut on the 19th of February at just 18 years of age as a substitute in a 3-0 home win against Leicester City. Mainoo had done enough to show he needed to be part of the first team, and he was selected to join Manchester United on their 2023-24 pre-season tour in the United States. Unfortunately, Mainoo suffered a setback. He got injured, and this kept him out of United's squad. Mainoo wouldn't return until November 2023, and when he did, it seemed like he never left. Kobbie was completely dominant and destroyed all of Everton's attempts to create anything meaningful in the match. Then finally, Everton got the space they needed and McNeil sent the ball towards the United goal. He managed to beat United's goalkeeper, and as the ball rolled towards the line, Mainoo cleared it off the line. Mainoo won the Man of the Match award with his performance in that game, and he was just getting started. He came on as a substitute in United's Champions League match against Galatasaray, which ended in a highly exciting 3-3 draw. His Champions League debut didn't end in a win as he would have liked, but he stepped out with a 100% pass completion. Mainoo was fully in the mood now. His ability in all areas of the pitch made him a valuable player for United, who were having a nightmare season. He provided relief with his performances, and without him, United would have been way worse off on the eventual league table. One of Mainoo's unforgettable performances would be against Wolves, where he scored a last-minute winner to make the scoreline 4-3 in favour of United. It wouldn't be the last time Mainoo would rescue United. After a forgettable display against Coventry City in the FA Cup semi-final, United faced Manchester City. United had been great against Coventry City, with Mainoo helping United control the game, but immediately after United's coach, Erik ten Hag, took him off, United lost their spine. United only just managed to win through penalties. The final, against City, looked like an easy win for City on paper, considering how poor United had been all season. Apart from Lisandro Martinez's brilliance for United in defence and his devastating passes, Mainoo also won the midfield battle for United. He battled with City's Rodri and outshone him in the midfield. He hassled Haaland and capped his display off by scoring what eventually became United's winning goal. Mainoo helped United get something from a forgettable season, and may be the reason why United's coach Ten Hag still has a job. England nearly missed out on benefiting from Kobbie Mainoo's talent. He wasn't in Gareth Southgate's initial plans, with the England coach preferring to call up his more familiar faces for England's midfield. Also, Southgate was ready to play Trent Alexander-Arnold in the midfield for England's preparatory friendlies for Euro 2024 in March. However, the pressure from the media and pundits was enormous. Already, Mainoo had proven himself to be a key player for United, with many solid performances, which I'll show you later on. Originally, Mainoo was preparing for the England under-21s, but plans changed when Southgate handed him a much-deserved call-up. Mainoo made his debut against Brazil on March 23rd, coming on for Conor Gallagher in the 75th minute. While Mainoo didn't do much against Brazil, he showed Southgate he had a solidity on the ball that England lacked. Mainoo was calm and very comfortable in possession. He was so good that he started for England in their next friendly against Belgium. Mainoo had an outstanding match against Belgium. He was imposing yet graceful, calm and composed. He dominated the midfield and showed his dynamism. He controlled the game from deep, orchestrating the move that led to the penalty that England scored. He dished out tough tackling, Roy Keane style, which helped England impose themselves in the midfield and forced an error from Amadou Onana with his intense pressing. Despite all of this, he also managed surging runs into the box and forced a fine save from Belgium's goalkeeper. It was only natural that Mainoo won the Man of the Match award after such a performance. He went from being overlooked for the England squad to making a case to be among the squad that would travel to Germany. Unfortunately, in Germany, Mainoo was the fourth-choice midfielder. Southgate began the competition insisting on playing right-back Trent Alexander-Arnold alongside Declan Rice. The results from his experiments were mixed, and when he decided to change things, he went with Conor Gallagher, who, like Rice, was more of a progressor of the ball than a holding midfielder. England's midfield had a gaping hole. They couldn't retain the ball, and as a result allowed opponents who they should beat comfortably hassle them. Something had to change. Pundits and media pointed out that Southgate had a solution and didn't need to experiment. That solution for Southgate was on his bench in Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo's style suited what England needed. He fit Southgate's caution-first approach with tough tackling and defensive awareness, which has made some fans regard him as the calmer version of Roy Keane. Like Roy, Mainoo was versatile. He could play in the defensive, central and attacking midfield. He could also receive the ball in dangerous positions and use his dribbling or incredible burst of pace to get past opposition players. Apart from this, Mainoo had a movement on the ball that was just unique. He displayed it during the 23-24 season at United and also showed more of the same at the Euro. Rio Ferdinand compared the style of movement to that of Dutch legend Clarence Seedorf, and even Seedorf himself agreed. He reminds me of a young me with his body and movement, but the thing that he has that I never did is his maturity on the ball at such a young age. The sky is the limit for him, Seedorf said. Mainoo also offered calmness on the ball, which England needed to help slow the chaos that happened around the midfield. His ability to also drive the ball meant that the forward players in England's squad would be able to contribute more to the team. The problem was whether Mainoo was going to easily adapt to the team. While he had United coaches Erik ten Hag's faith in being able to quickly adapt to high levels, Southgate seemed not as trusting. However, the situation was critical, and against Slovenia, Southgate could see his Gallagher and Rice pivot wasn't going to work. In came Kobbie Mainoo, and he was amazing. He tried to change how England played and help them achieve some control in the midfield. Mainoo received the ball in uncomfortable areas and was looking ahead to pass forward. He gave England security and another avenue to attack with his relentless energy and driving runs. His performance was exactly what England needed, and it was clear that he was the best fit for Rice so far. So, it didn't surprise many when Mainoo started in England's round of 16 match against Slovakia. Mainoo was taken off before full time, but many felt he was England's best player in the game, although most of the attention went to Bellingham. Then against Switzerland, Mainoo was a bit off the pace, but against the Netherlands he was back to his usual self, excellent going forward and still being solid while defending. However, in the final again, Mainoo seemed lost against Spain's midfield juggernauts, and maybe if he had been more comfortable in that game, England would have won. Mainoo is on his way to be the next big player in football, but he still has a long way to go. Will he go all the way? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more.